How's it going, everybody? Josh or Miho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I'm here to do a concert review, and I'm going to be talking to you about a show that I went to last night, the 2012 Slaughter Survivors Tour. Now, what that tour basically is an offspring of the Summer Slaughter Tour, which, of course, is probably one of the biggest metal tours going on right now, with bands like Cannibal Corpse and Between the Buried and Me, Exhumed, Goat Whore, Job for a Cowboy, Periphery, Veil of Maya, The Faceless, and Cerebral Bore. That tour is still going on right now as we speak, if I'm not mistaken. And what Slaughter Survivors basically is just an offshoot of bands that did not get voted onto the Summer Slaughter Tour. What basically happens is there's a list of all these bands, and one band gets to join the Summer Slaughter Tour. And that band happened to be Cerebral Bore, so they're on that major tour right now. And the other bands that were included in that lineup were Pathology, Fallujah, Enfold Darkness, Fit for an Autopsy, Aegaeon, and I'm pretty sure there were some other bands in the list, but the five bands that I mentioned made up that tour. But now, before I get into this review, I just want to state that if you're not aware of what's been happening with Pathology, they recently had some van troubles, and unfortunately, they had to pull out for the remainder of the tour due to van issues. And hopefully, everything is fixed. And I'm hopeful that everybody in the band is back home safe and sound. So I'm hoping they're doing well, and I can't wait to hear the new Pathology record. So yeah. It took place at the Korova, which is a place I've been going to a lot recently for metal shows. They're starting to get really hyped up with metal shows. Obituary is going to be there in September. Skeleton Witch, Havoc in October. Septic Flesh and Melichesh on Halloween. There's going to be a lot of great stuff, and hopefully I can try to make it out to those shows. I got there pretty early, around like 5:30. Just hung out, just browsed around downtown. And the doors didn't open until 7, so once we got inside the venue, everything was getting set up and ready to go. And the first band that played was a local band called Courting Baphomet. I was not too familiar with them. I was familiar with the name, but not really too familiar with the music. And when I heard this band, they basically have an almost melodic death metal kind of approach to their sound. Pretty much Black Dahlia murder worship. And I don't say that as an insult. I say that as that band has somewhat of an influence on this band. Good solid melodies in the guitar, nice solid stage presence, really good solid musicianship. I really liked what I heard. I'm hopeful to hear more good stuff from them in the future, so hopefully they'll continue to keep up the good work. So shout out to the guys in Courting Baphomet. Next band was Aegaeon. They're from Indiana, and this is a really interesting deathcore band. They are not signed to any label. They are completely do-it-yourself. They self-release their own material. They get their word out there. They sell their merch. Yeah, they're one of those kind of bands, and I think that's really, really interesting. I've been hearing a lot about that band, but I've never really heard any single note of material from them until the night of the show. And once they started to play, they played a really, really energetic set. I really enjoyed the songs that I heard. They played songs from their newest EP, some from their first full length. They had another EP prior to that full length. They had some really good material. It basically verges on the more technical side of deathcore. Really good solid bass guitar work. I really love the way that the guitars are played. And good God Almighty, that band drops bass drops like no other. I felt the whole room shake the minute those bass drops occurred. And it's not like I had a problem with that. It's just something you notice when you hear that band. They have a lot of bass drops in their sound. They are incredibly crushing. And I was very impressed by that band. I really like what I heard. And I'm hopeful and optimistic more good things will come their way. Really, really good band, and pretty much deserving of all of the good hype they've been getting. I really am impressed with them. Next up was Fit for an Autopsy. That was one of the two bands that I really wanted to see in this tour. I really loved their debut, The Process of Her Human Extermination, uh, Extinction. I don't remember what the last word on that album title is, but they are a really damn good band. They have more death metal influence than hardcore influence in their sound, and I was really interested to see what their live set would sound like. They were without a bassist, unfortunately, but still, regardless of that, they still put on an absolutely heavy, crushing show. They basically played a medley of material from the debut. Every single song was just amazing. The Conqueror, The Juggernaut, just some really solid highlights from that set. Just the onstage intensity. Nate Johnson is just an absolute monstrous vocalist. His vocals are just sensational. Just the way he delivers the vocals, just the stage presence. He really owned that stage. It's just absolutely fantastic. And the guitar work itself is just absolutely heavy, a lot of bottom end on the guitar, just a lot of good solid stage presence. Really fun set, very heavy, and I'm pretty sure if they had the bassist with them, it would be even more crushing than it already was. And that's when pits started to start happening, when that set started coming around. It's really, really fun. They are a great band to watch live, and they were fun. Next band was Enfold Darkness. That was the other band that I really wanted to see the most. Um, if you're not too familiar with their sound, they are a mixture of melodic death metal, modern metal, technical death metal, and even black metal. They are a band that are not afraid to try out black metal with their sound, and the live set that they had was really, really solid. They played most songs from their debut, Our Cursed Rapture, and the two new songs that they had released to the public, Realms of the Ascended Masters, and forgetting the name of the other song, but they played both those new songs, and they were fantastic. The new singer had a really solid stage presence, really entertaining. Just the play on words with the crowd, just that evilness in his hype, in his high voice. It's really awesome. He has some really good vocals and a really nice stage presence. And the two guitar players, Elijah and Matt, they really had a blast. They really delivered good, solid, memorable solos, great tremolo riffs, just the commanding stage presence that each of those two have. The drummer that they have right now is awesome. Just a fun person to watch, very energetic. And even when Matt did those impeccable growls, because he does a lot of the growls for Enfold Darkness, and the way he delivered the growls are just absolutely amazing. I loved the fury and intensity. Just a great stage presence overall. And they didn't have their bass player either. I yeah, I guess things happen whenever you're on the road. Shit happens. What can you do? But regardless of which, they had a great set. I really enjoyed that band. And last was Fallujah. They were the headliners. They're from the Bay Area of California, and they have this really atmospheric, dark, death metal kind of sound. It's really awesome, and their performance really proved that they're not any kind of a core band whatsoever. Their live set really proved it. Just the way the drums were. And by the way, they had the guy who drummed with Enfold Darkness did the drumming here because of the current Fallujah drummer having time out for illness. So the transition from Enfold Darkness to Fallujah really showed just how great the drums were, how fast the double bass was, the blast beats, almost black metal sounding in a way, which I thought was crazy. But the main highlights of that set were Alex. His vocals were just monstrous, great stage presence, a lot of intensity and energy. The guitar playing was just absolutely beautiful. Just those lead solos, those beautiful, very well-structured solos are just an absolute highlight for me of that set. They basically played a medley of stuff from their debut, The Harvest Wombs, and a lot of the songs executed live sounded great. I really thought the live stuff sounded great as opposed to what you would hear on a CD or a record. It's just fantastic. They put on a great, great set, and that was the end of the show. Great bands, great people. Got to talk with a lot of great people. Alex from Fallujah is great. The guys in Enfold Darkness are awesome. Shout out to Nate and Patrick from For An Autopsy. The Aegaeon guys were great. I really enjoyed their company, and they were really good people. And lastly, I want to show you some merch that I got. Didn't get too much, but I got one of each thing from the main bands that played. First off, this is the Being EP. Yeah, Being. It's the Being EP from Aegaeon, self-release, nice little digipack sleeve, do-it-yourself kind of stuff. Really solid deathcore. I love this band already. Next, there's some shirts that I got. I'll show you the Enfold Darkness first shirt. This is one of the newer designs that they have. It's basically like an Illuminati kind of a t-shirt. Just all these symbols and the guy with his eyes rolled back into his head. Just the way the earth is, the star right there. Really solid shirt design. I really like this. Next is a Fallujah shirt that I got. There was this one shirt that I wanted to get that had the classic Fallujah logo. Not the logo that they have now, but back when they had their EP and demo material, because I love their older stuff. They didn't have any shirts because they were just selling out fast. So I ended up getting this one instead. It's the current Fallujah logo. Nice little design on here. And the shirt says, "And from the darkness where the ancients spawned." Really nice shirt design here. And last but not least, For An Autopsy shirt. This design is just absolutely disgusting. I love this. Check this out. It's like, it's basically Medusa with a wolf's head. Medusa with a wolf's head. Nice artwork design on the shirt. Basically sitting on a throne made of skulls. Really sick shirt design. Really great stuff. But, great tour, great lineup, a lot of fun. I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, runnerjma out.